Yee, welcome to Barstool Bench Mob, presented by High Noon Hard Seltzer. I, I'll be honest, I'm a hero for recording right now at 10 o'clock in the morning. What I've gone through, I'm a hero. I'll get to it in the podcast, but I need you to know that, Jake.
Thank
I'm going against adversity. We have a co-host that's throwing shit. I go through it, I go through this weekend. And it was an amazing college basketball weekend.
Yeah, there were a lot of great games. This felt like opening weekend in March because there were upsets left and right. We had the
You
number
couldn't even
one team
keep up
lose
with it.
twice. We had the number 5 team lose twice. We had the number 3 team lose as well. So it's chaos. The rankings are going to look totally different by the time you're listening to this on Monday. Teams are rising up. Teams are falling down. Friends of the program might be back. We'll get into that as well because our guys are on a little bit of a streak, or at least some of them. What are you
And
gonna say?
you know what? Our friend Rico Bosco maybe shouldn't have cashed out of his Oregon ticket.
Oregon's on a little bit of a rise.
A little bit. They beat the number 3 and 5 team.
Yes. But they dug themselves a big hole. We'll get into it also, but Rico can be happy about that. However, his bet with Big Cat about the future of the show is trending downwards a little bit. About Alabama, again, if Alabama does not make the NCAA tournament, Big Cat is permanently replacing Rico on the show.
I don't know if you heard what he said yesterday. I'm not even going to mention the name, because I said I won't talk bad about him to him anymore. But he did say he'd resign after day one and sub in someone else. And I think you know who that is.
Big Cat said he would resign after day one.
Yep, and sub in the do.
Roll Tide then.
So hopefully Alabama makes the tournament.
Yes, Roll Tide.
Right, let's get into the episode.
And here we go.
All right, before we get into today's episode, I want to talk to you about High Noon Hard Seltzer. High Noon that's all I drank this weekend. I feel it was just amazing. The entire weekend was great. On ice in a can. I put it on ice in a cup. It's just a delightful drink. Real vodka, real juice, presented by real people. You see even the logo behind Jake right now. If you're watching the podcast, great logo. Dave's big on them. He's drinking it in Miami. Like I said, I saw a couple of your guys' setups yesterday. It looks fantastic. Drinking your High Noons with your 3 TVs, your 4 TVs, your octo boxes. So keep showing us that. High Noon Hard Seltzer is the best sponsor there is, right, Jake?
100%. I had myself some pineapple last weekend in Michigan. Marty enjoyed himself this weekend. And yeah, High Noon's amazing. Keep sending those TV setups with your High Noons. College basketball's in full swing. College football's over. So this sport is about to take center stage. So it's awesome. Yeah. We love High Noon.
Go get your High Noon Hard Seltzer. Again, anytime you're drinking it, I don't care what you're doing. Snap a picture, tweet it at us. We'll interact because we're just love High Noon. Before we get into games, I just need to explain my weekend to you because it just doesn't, I don't understand it.
I saw bits and pieces of it.
So Friday, I flew to Boston at like 3:00, 38-minute flight. Beautiful. Went to Chase Rice's tour bus. Hung out. We just hung out all day, blah, blah. Went backstage, watched the concert. Went like me and Glenny, I'm with Glenny Balls. 2:00 in the morning, we're on his bus. We convinced him to play Billy Joel, Piano Man, at MSG on Saturday. I sleep on his tour bus. He drives us to Weehawken, New Jersey. I woke up, went home, and then he ended up playing Piano Man at MSG. And we did the stream. Last night, I went out to meet him after, me and Glenny and a couple other people. I convinced him to go to Green Rock.
The local bar in Hoboken, and he's around there?
Chase Rice to Green Rock.
Wait, it was never the plan for you to go from Boston back here, right?
No, it was. We vlogged it all and like slept on his tour bus. It was fucking awesome. But the fact that he was there, it was one of the funniest. Like, you know how Rico always goes like Fun Anthony, like those people.
Yeah.
Fun Anthony was there last night, and just it was me, Chase Rice, Glenny, and Fun Anthony at one point.
Was it like a big scene? Was he recognized big time?
Yeah, yeah. I before I got there, I called my friend and it was like he had like a table with like, and he had like two bouncers around him the entire time. But it was just the scene was just hysterical.
That's really
So
funny.
yeah,
Yeah, I'll be honest. I'm not a big country music guy, but
me neither, Jake. I don't I that's why I think I liked it more, because I'm not like I like, it was just like a cool guy, you know, like it was. I just don't know many of his songs, but it was just a great time.
wow. Yeah, I remember he had a little cameo on The Bachelor as well. We had Bruce Perlon
He
also.
came in second, Survivor.
Did he?
Yeah, I thought you
I'm
were
a
a Survivor
Survivor fan.
Jake.
Yeah, I kind of got outed here. I didn't watch that season, Nicaragua. Yeah, that's crazy. I did not know that. I don't know why I didn't know that. I've watched like the last 15 to 20 seasons of Survivor. I guess this was like right before I
The
started
one you missed.
religiously watching. Yeah, so
So
dropped me
yeah,
down a little
just
bit for
again,
a Survivor fan,
hero.
but yeah, so congrats to you. But let's talk some hoops. What a weekend. Number 1 Baylor loses twice. Number 3 UCLA loses. Number 5 USC loses twice. So of those top 5 teams, which do we think is the most concerning? Baylor, we'll start with that game. This is the first time in college basketball history a number 1 team has lost 2 home games in a week. Kind of crazy.
And like, so the Texas Tech one, we're like, okay, that's kind of fun. Like Texas Tech is good, I think. The Oklahoma State one is what did not see coming.
No, you thought they were going to come out angry and smoke them. They were down what, like 20-5 in this game?
Dude, they were minus 14.
And they were never leading, 14. I don't think.
What?
I don't even know if they were ever leading.
No, I don't think they were. And like Oklahoma State, not very good this year. And it was just like, what is going on with Baylor, man?
I mean, a week ago, they're probably the favorite to win it all, right? Once again, back to back.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, dude, when your starting lineup, besides Mayer, didn't even reach 5 points. Flagler had 5. And the rest had 2, 4, 5, 3. That's crazy.
Yeah, Flagler. Yeah, Cryer was nice, was very good off the bench. But this is just crazy. It just shows like the storylines. Okay, this team's good. Okay, this team stinks. It'll just reverse in a week.
Yeah, it does. Like last year was pretty consistent of Gonzaga Baylor. Like that's what it was. Like 1-2 for a while. We didn't get to see them play, and then like it just happened. Like it was whatever. This year, it's like a disease to have the number 1 seed. It's just, and then even the 2, like 1 through 5, besides Auburn, just lost.
And Gonzaga, yeah.
Gonzaga, yeah. Well, they're playing dog shit.
Yeah. So do we think Baylor has the most concern of the top 5 teams losing? UCLA and USC lost twice.
I don't, because Texas Tech is again fine. Oklahoma State's concerned. I'm not too concerned about Baylor though. Like I still think that they're going to be fine. I think that they were not like definitely the 1 seed. I knew they were good. I didn't think they're the best team in the country. Did you?
Baylor?
I think they were definitely top 5. I didn't think they were number 1, honestly.
I thought at the time they were number 1
now, but
I thought before the Texas Tech loss, they were number 1.
It's a clear number 1 now. You don't think so?
I think it's going to be, I think it should be Auburn. I think it'll be closer than you think.
Really?
Gonzaga. I know they're not playing the biggest competition, but they do look unstoppable.
No, I know, but Auburn does too. Like Auburn was such a lose game yesterday to
They were losing the majority of it.
But then, they covered the spread. Like that's how good they are, dude. Like even when they're down, I guess we'll get to at one point. But just like I don't know, I think they're going to be number 1 just because of the resume. Like that's the people they're playing. Honestly,
Auburn has a better resume. Gonzaga, their last 3 games, 117, 110, 115. Like, that's insane. They didn't do that last year consistently.
What was the games? Honestly, this is not.
No, I know. Two of them, Pepperdine, Santa Clara. BYU is an NCAA tournament team. They put up 110 on them.
Yeah,
like that's still impressive. Like, and Santa Clara is not terrible. I know you're not a KenPom guy. They're number 86 on KenPom. They're not. They're a much worse teams in the conference.
Yeah,
than Santa Clara. So yeah, you think it's definitely Auburn? You think Gonzaga has a chance? By the way, by the time this is out, it'll probably be out. But
I think they have a chance. I really do. I think it's like 95% going to be Auburn.
I would lean Auburn. I think there's like 60 something voters. I would guess like 40-20 or 45-15 in favor of who the voters who rank Auburn number one. But I don't think it'll be unanimous.
No, I don't think so either.
Yeah. So that's the number one debate. There's going to be a lot of shuffling up top. So we'll keep it on the strings of the top 5 losses. And again, this is dating back to Thursday as well. Number 3, UCLA. They lose for the second time this season in overtime to Oregon. And we can just have this little jumbled Pac-12 talk because Oregon caused some issues in the Pac-12. They beat UCLA. They beat USC in the span of 2 days. Which is more concerning here. This kind of opens up the door for Arizona now.
Yeah, it does. I mean, UCLA, I bet Oregon that game, honestly. I did. Oregon, like, I know they created a big hole for themselves, right?
Yeah, they're 10 and entering this week, they were 8-6.
But you having 3 and 5 is like they're back on track almost.
I mean, look, the Pac-12 isn't the strongest conference. They've proven they can beat these two teams. I think, so I'm looking at late February for Oregon. 3 games in a row. At Arizona, UCLA, USC. If they can win 2 of those 3,
they're in.
Plus avoid bad losses in between, I think they have a good shot to be in. There's 20 conference games. They're 4-2. If they can pull off like a 15-5 or even a 14-6, that would put them right around the 21-10 mark on the season. Plus, don't get an early boot in the Pac-12. I think they squeeze in.
Yeah, no, I think they do too. I mean, those are impressive wins, especially like on the road too against UCLA, and like I it's impressive. But I'm where I told you from the beginning, UCLA, I think that they're a little fugazi. Not fugazi, but like not top 5.
Right. So here's the thing with UCLA. They had nearly a month off. They played Saturday, December 11th against Marquette. Then they didn't play until January 6th against Long Beach State. They beat Cal. They beat Oregon State Saturday night. But yeah, this is a tough loss to Oregon. They were not competitive against Gonzaga. In the opening week, they did beat Villanova in overtime. It's tough. Thing.
Like, they kind of have one real, like, Colorado's that's an okay win.
At Marquette is a better win than you'd think.
No, it's like, yeah, it's still a road game, whatever. But like, they don't have a crazy good resume. Like, Villanova is a great win. Don't get me wrong, but it's like it's an okay resume.
Right, but the way I guess this is their scheduling. For you to say they had a good resume, they would have had to go undefeated in non-conference and beat Gonzaga, basically.
No. I mean, it's just their schedule. I'm saying, yeah. It's just like they didn't have the. I'm not saying they should have went undefeated, but they have Utah, Colorado next, but then the Arizona game is where you'll kind of see them.
Well, here's the thing too. It's kind of out of their control. Remember, they were supposed to play in the CBS Sports Classic in Vegas.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah, no, COVID fucked them a little bit.
Yeah, so that would have been a quality win if they were beating, I forget which of the 3, but it was UCLA, North Carolina, Kentucky, and Ohio State was the 4. I forget which one they were originally supposed to play. That could have been another quality win, right?
Yeah, 1,000%.
So that's not their fault. But look, I think they still obviously have a very good chance to win the Pac-12. A 1 seed might be tough given the strength of the league, but they'll be a 2, at worst 3 or 4 seed, and they'll have a chance to go to the second weekend again.
Yeah.
USC, I know we talked about their loss to Stanford on Wednesday with Big Cat, the infamous too late 5 p.m. game, as you said. That was a tough one.
That was great.
Yeah. So they lost to Oregon 79-69 on Saturday night. USC, they started 13-0, but I'm going to take your route here. They don't really have good wins. They beat San Diego State, and that's pretty much their only quality win in the non-conference. So they had a weak slate. But if they can go 22-5 or whatever, that's probably good enough for a 2 or 3 seed. But if that's the case, are you bought into them going on a deep run in the tournament?
No, I'm not. I mean, the Stanford loss was kind of surprising, but like I was like, that's just, I feel like Stanford will always take a win from
on the road. And it's like, yeah, they're not a terrible
Oregon team. By 10, losing by 10 at home was concerning to me. I mean, Mobley was great, but I don't know. I'm not a big believer in USC. Are you?
They have veterans. They have guys who've been here before. They went to the Elite Eight last year. They have the coaching staff who's gone deep in the tournament. Of course, Andy Enfield at Florida Gulf Coast. And then here last year.
No one was really bought into him last year. Like everyone knew.
Well, they had a top 5 pick too.
Everyone knew Mobley was unbelievable for sure. But like, I think it's just because like, again, no one talks about them for a while. And then all of a sudden they're like, oh, fuck, they're pretty good.
Yeah. I'm not bought in on them as a Final Four contender. I think they can go back to the Sweet 16, but unless they beat Arizona or UCLA, I won't have confidence in them.
This is the thing. It's like, who fucking knows who's good? Everyone's beating up on each other. It's insane.
Yeah. So right now for the Pac-12, and I know people complain we don't talk about the Pac-12 enough. So let's have this debate. So we just dove into those games, the upsets. So Arizona, we agree, is after this weekend the new favorite.
Yep.
And then from there, is it still too soon to put Oregon in the USC UCLA category, even though they just beat them both overall?
How do you kind of have to put them in there?
They have 6 losses, but they haven't lost in a month.
I'm not like saying Oregon's like back, but like if you beat the number 3 and number 5 team,
yeah,
you have to at least talk about it. And like on the road too is crazy.
Yeah, it is. They just dug themselves such a deep hole in the beginning.
Oh yeah, but I feel like they do that every year. Not this bad, but they usually start off a little slow and then they get hot. And then they're in the Sweet 16 the tournament like all the time.
They were 9-4 last year. They lost 3 of 4 games in January and early February in the conference last year. They opened the season with a Missouri loss. I wonder what Rico's thinking about Oregon right now. Did he rip up that ticket? For those not aware, Rico loved Oregon. They're one of his national championship picks preseason, and then they started 6-6, and I think he tore it up, right?
Yeah, I mean he tore up he took him for November, and he cashed out in November. He won like $2.
Yeah,
he got $2 back.
He suddenly has a little life. So we'll have Rico, of course, on in a month or so, and
February 11th. He's back.
February 11th, and we'll see what his state of the Oregon Ducks are. But they have a favorable schedule: Washington State, Washington, Colorado, Oregon State, Colorado, Utah, Stanford, Cal, Arizona State, and then those 3 games in a row. Late February, Arizona, UCLA, USC. Those are the big ones.
They got to go on a run. They can't let like these shitty games trip them up. They can't.
Yeah, I think the only game where they could trip up before that stretch is at Colorado, February 3rd. If they run the table or have 1 loss and then win 2 of those 3, they have a good shot to get in.
Going to Colorado is always a tough place to play.
Yeah, they'll always be competitive. All right, so that's Pac-12 talk. I'm glad we gave them some talk. They deserve some respect off the top of the show.
Yeah, I'm proud of us to talk about the Pac-12.
Yeah. Before we move on, though, we want to remind you that this podcast, the Barstool Bench Mob, is presented by BetterHelp Online Therapy. We talk about BetterHelp a lot on this show, and this month we're discussing some of the stigmas around mental health. For example, some people think you should wait until things are unbearable to go to therapy, but that isn't true. Therapy is a tool to utilize before things get worse, and it can help you avoid those lows. Many people think therapy is for quote unquote crazy people, but therapy doesn't mean something's wrong with you. It means you recognize that all humans have emotions and we need to learn to control them, not avoid them. And we've been taught that mental health shouldn't be part of normal life, but that's wrong too. We take care of our bodies with the gym, the doctor, and nutrition. We should be focusing on our minds just as much. BetterHelp is customized online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions with your therapist, so you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to. It's much more affordable than in-person therapy, and you can be matched with a therapist in under 48 hours. Give it a try and see why over 2 million people have used BetterHelp online therapy. This podcast, the Barstool Bench Mob, is sponsored by BetterHelp, and our listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/bench. That's BetterHelp.com/bench. All right, moving along here. We had the number 1 debate. We had a Pac-12 debate. Tennessee. Yikes. Number 18, Kentucky, 107. Number 22, Tennessee, 79. Last week, we thought it was rock bottom for Tennessee, right? When Coach Barnes said Fulkerson needs to step up or step aside. I wonder what he's saying now, Marty.
He might cut him. After that performance, he might cut him. I mean, he's right, though, dude. You're the guy, supposed to be the guy. And you're not, and like, this is a huge game. And it wasn't even competitive. 107-79. I don't think they're fucking very good. I hate Tennessee. I can't stand them.
It's something else, because this was on paper one of the best games of the day on Saturday, right? You thought it would be competitive. You thought Tennessee would fight back. They hadn't won a road game in the conference this whole year. This was not competitive. And
what was really impressive was what everyone has been waiting for, really. And ever since he's done that his special drink, Ty Washington is fucking disgusting. He is dirty. Like, watching him yesterday, I was like, yeah, this is the guy I was like kind of scared about. Like, well, that Kentucky kind of has a guy again, like, because last year was such a fluke. Like, Kentucky's sneaky still, like, even though it's Kentucky, everyone talks about them, but don't you feel what I'm saying? Like, they kind of been under the radar a little bit and playing really well.
Yeah, I mean, look. Obviously, the opening night loss to Duke is a toss-up game. Can't fault them for that. And then they smoked North Carolina. They smoked Tennessee. Tough losses at LSU and at Notre Dame. Can't really fault them for true road losses. I don't know. I know we love Oregon, we love Auburn. They've been amazing. They are playing on Saturday, January 22nd, at Auburn. If Kentucky wins that game, they have to be the new favorite, right? Or is that if you're winning at Auburn?
I don't think it switches that easy. I think
a coin flip for you.
I think it is. It's just obvious they're 1-2 no matter what. I think it's pretty. LSU is good, obviously a tough loss they had, but I think it's 1-2 and then LSU 3. You agree?
I don't think I'm taking LSU off the top tier after the Arkansas loss.
No, I'm not taking it off top tier, but I still think they're the third best team in the SEC.
Yes, but a slim margin.
To Kentucky and Auburn?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. That's not crazy to say.
It's a good debate. But let's dive into this game. So Tennessee, Fulkerson was scoreless.
Yep.
in 20 minutes.
What a shame.
I don't know where they go from here, because
beyond ranked, they're 11-5, bro. Like, what are we doing here with Tennessee?
It's tough, because it's not like Coach Barnes can now say something that'll give him a boost or like make him angry, because he's done that multiple times in his career. He did it last year, as we mentioned last week's podcast. He did it last week. Now you respond from that criticism from a goose egg. What direction do they go in?
You can't. That's just a guy who's fucking a mental midget right now and doesn't have what's going on. I think Tennessee is in shambles. They're in absolute shambles. They have So they beat UNC early in the season pretty well, and they have Arizona's win, which is very good. Rest, I mean, it's okay, and I just think Tennessee's in shambles. When your coach is doing that 3 games ago to your best player, and now he's still scoring 0 in probably the biggest game as of late, they're fucked.
John Fulkerson in 3 career games against Kentucky, 55 minutes, 4 points, 1 of 12 field goals, 10 rebounds. He has 4 points in 3 games.
Cut his ass.
They're not going to cut him, but
Cut John
seriously.
Fulkerson. I want that out there. Cut him right now. He should transfer mid-season transfer to fucking Santa Clara.
He would eat at Santa Clara.
He probably still wouldn't play.
I don't know about that, but yeah. So Tennessee has got a lot of issues. They are 0-3 on the road in conference, and again, they've had a tough schedule. All 5 of their losses are to very good teams. They have Vanderbilt on the road. Not a shoo-in. Vanderbilt's better than expected. And then LSU, Florida, and then Texas in the SEC Big 12 Challenge. They have to win 3 of these next 4, I think.
Yeah, no, they 1,000% do. They 1,000%. Vanderbilt's a must win. They have to win that. And Vandy's not an easy win right now.
No, at Vanderbilt, like they're a real team in the SEC.
Yeah, let's not give them too much credit, but they're an okay team. Yeah.
Yeah. When you're expected to be very, very bad and you're not very, very bad, that's an improvement.
Yes, true.
Yeah. So for Tennessee, Vescovi, Kennedy Chandler, obviously the star freshman, they were fine yesterday, but Fulkerson, man, they had a walk-on score more than him.
Yeah, I don't even want to. I honestly, fuck this. Let's get out. This is Kentucky.
But yeah, Kentucky, Shibwe, he's always had like the big stats. He was, but he was like 9-12 yesterday. Like it just shows like
didn't have to do it.
Ty, Shibwe, Wheeler, like Kentucky, look out.
Team. Yeah, they're a legit team.
Yeah. All right. Some Big 12 talk. Number 15, Iowa State, 79. Number 21, Texas, 70. We've talked a lot about disappointing teams, Michigan, Alabama, Arkansas. Texas should be in that category now.
They're my disappointment right now. I thought they were going to be really good. I still think they're a good team, but they got to figure it out. I mean, they're 13-4. It's not, but they don't win these big games. And it's like, it just seems like the transfers and like, they're just not meshing well together yet. And like Carr has been okay. It's just, I don't know. It's weird. They're not a bad team, obviously, but I think it's just taking a little too long to mesh.
Yeah, 100%. By the way, one more thing I need to throw in about Kentucky. Joe B. Hall, the former coach who won it all with them, he passed away a few days ago. They probably won this one for him. Yeah. Yep. So Joe B. Hall. Texas. I don't know. Rico and I were at that Seton Hall game. That's a tough loss. That was a rowdy environment. All 4 losses on the road. I don't know. They definitely, on paper, they were a national championship contender.
Yeah, 1,000%. I still think they have that in them, but right now they for sure don't. They're not going to be ranked anymore, and you got to give credit to Iowa State here. I mean, I thought they were kind of fugazi. They've been kind of shutting me up a little bit, and this is a huge win for them.
Yeah. So when Iowa State started 12-0, we're like, okay, they have decent wins. They're a surprise team. And then they lose to Baylor, and you're like, okay, they lost to Baylor. Then they beat Texas Tech, losses to Oklahoma and Kansas, and then a win against Texas. Their wins: Texas, Texas Tech, Xavier, Iowa, Creighton, Memphis. That's a resume.
Yeah, 1,000%. They have to be considered a real team now, because I don't know how. He deserves to get a lifetime contract at Iowa State. Really does.
TJ Otzelberger, we're trying to get him on. No promises. It's a work in progress, but it's crazy what he's doing. Like I've said this every episode, but it's just mind blowing every time. They went 2-22 last year and 0-18 in the conference.
That just doesn't make sense.
Their 2 wins last year, Arkansas, Pine Bluff, and Jackson State. They lost every other game on their schedule.
Fucking outrageous. And they're beating Texas. They're in fucking every game. Good for them.
It's crazy. So yeah, they lost 2 straight. Huge bounce back win. TJ Altenberger improves his coach of the year resume. Texas had 20 turnovers in this game. I've heard Hilton Coliseum is a tough place to play. So 20 turnovers is tough, but I don't know what it is.
It was just pretty much Carr and Jones didn't have too much help, and they need to. It's just weird. They played they're a deep team. Like Texas plays a fucking ton of people, but I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me. I thought they were gonna be fucking disgusting.
I thought they were going to be a championship contender too, but maybe it is too many moving pieces and not enough chemistry.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it does that. I mean, if they don't get it going in February, they're done.
By the way, February 1st, Texas at Texas Tech, the Beard return. You think the Red Raiders are gonna want to win that one?
Oh yeah, they're gonna fucking shit on the floor.
Yeah. So Iowa State. I mean, I don't know what else to say about them.
There's nothing. We're gonna leave it at this because you know what? I'm not gonna pronounce this guy's name either. Gabe. Not gonna pronounce it. But Iowa State, I am sorry. I thought you were Fugazi. This is a statement win. I know it's at home, but like, and they're the 15 seed, but I just didn't think that 15 really meant anything. I thought it was just whatever. But they've shut me up. I will respect them until they don't deserve it anymore.
Yeah. And then they have a favorable schedule. Excuse me, that's Texas's schedule. Iowa State. They have Texas Tech next, TCU, Oklahoma State, Mizzou. So look, I mean, you can't count them out at all. Iowa State certainly the biggest surprise in college basketball this season. I don't think you can really disagree with that. So we mentioned Texas Tech. Not only were there upsets at the top of the rankings with the 3 of the top 5 teams losing. Did you catch the end of the noon slate?
Yeah, wait, what?
Just how many upsets there were.
Oh yeah, a ton.
So in the noon games, Northwestern over Michigan State, Kansas State over Texas Tech, Marquette over Seton Hall. Wow.
Seton Hall, I am worried about.
Yes.
I don't know what's going on with them. Texas Tech was such a letdown game. I'm not. They're fine. That was just going to happen. Honestly, gambling wise, whatever. I just knew that was going to happen. They've been too hot. But Michigan State was surprising. That one, Michigan State was what the fuck, and because that was at home. And yeah, with those Michigan State, Seton Hall, very surprising losses in my mind.
Yeah, so I tweeted out this poll in the middle of the afternoon. Which of these upsets is most concerning for the losing team? It was Michigan State, LSU, Texas Tech, Seton Hall, and this was before Baylor lost, and this was before USC lost. So it was chaos.
You think Duke's gonna move up to like 3?
Yeah, I mean, because
everyone lost.
Duke wasn't impressive this week, but
I mean, they won what they did. They did what they had to do.
Right, but like they don't deserve to move up, but by default sure. They do.
They deserve to move up like 1 spot, but
yeah,
3.
Yeah, if I had to guess, it'll be obviously Auburn, Gonzaga 1-2 in one order, and then maybe like Purdue, Duke. Yeah. So which of these losses, Michigan State, LSU, Texas Tech, Seton Hall, is the most scary? Is the scariest?
I really do think it's Seton Hall because Michigan State.
I agree.
Michigan State's like, I think, just a fluke. Like they whatever. I'm not worried about them. Seton Hall they've been losing, man. They have not been playing very well. And I was like, Marquette, this is a game you need to win on the road. It's not saying it's easy. Again, like we said, it's hard to win on the road, but they've been struggling. They're not going to be ranked anymore, and they're concerning to me.
No. And Seton Hall, I know they had some COVID issues, but now that's pretty much behind them. So they can't really use that excuse anymore.
I mean, coming off the law, like beating UConn and then losing to DePaul, which is like, all right, fine. But then to DePaul, Marquette back to back is 2 games you needed.
Yeah, 100%. And I remember early in the season when they won at Michigan, we're like, oh my God, are they the best team in the Big East? Now they're 2-4 in the Big East.
They fucking play St. John's Saturday and then St. John's Monday. Like,
yeah,
what?
2 and 3 days. It's like MLB. It's COVID. It's a COVID reschedule.
No, yeah, it's crazy. But I'm concerned. I mean, there was some tough officiating in this game, I thought.
Yes.
I really did. But I mean, Aiken played lights out, but then it's like Kale needs to step the fuck up. That's the problem.
Yeah. I mean, 9 points for him. He hasn't scored in double figures since December 12th against Rutgers. I don't know. It's weird because I know Rico was big on Coach Willard maybe getting the Maryland job.
Yeah.
I don't think, I mean, obviously they can go on a run. He doesn't look like a coach that is worthy of getting a bigger job right now.
No,
2-4 in the Big East.
They got to figure it out, dude. They really do. Maybe this will be good for them because they won't be ranked anymore. Maybe they'll get it together after this. I don't know.
Yeah. So yeah,
Marquette's one of the weirdest teams in the world, though.
I'm done on judging them because they'll win games they're not supposed to, and they'll lose games they're not supposed to.
That's a team I think we should make a rule. We just don't talk about Marquette because they don't make sense.
But they play at Villanova on Wednesday and watch them win that game. I wouldn't be shocked at this point.
I'm not going to make any more opinions on them because I can't figure them out.
Yeah. So that's a tough loss. But yeah, the officiating, that and the Michigan State game, they called the double travel. Did you see that? Like 2 Northwestern guys were like holding it and they took steps together and they called it travel. It was weird. And then they called a foul and they missed the free throws. It was a mess. Also Northwestern, they didn't have Pete Nance, who was their best player, one of their best players, and they won at Michigan State. Remember last week we had this talk with Will Wade. Why are all the home teams winning? Home court means so much.
Didn't mean much this week.
At home to Northwestern.
That was ridiculous.
Crazy. And then another upset. We mentioned it earlier when talking to the SEC. Arkansas is back. Razorbacks 65, number 12 LSU 58.
They are, I'm saying it right now, they're turning it around. They're turning it around right this second. Arkansas is a good team. I think we were fugazed. I think we were too hard on them. They are a good basketball team. I think that this turns around their season. And Coach Musselman wasn't even there.
So Coach Musselman, this happened right after our last episode. We haven't talked about it yet. He got shoulder surgery, I believe, on Thursday. He's out for a few games, did not travel with the team. So Keith Smart, very nice guy when we talked to him, former player at Indiana, former assistant with the Knicks. He steps in, biggest win of the season. They needed it badly.
Yeah. I mean, JD Note, fucking sick. Great game by him. It was a all-around win. And Arkansas, I mean, hey, 12-5 is not a bad record, you know?
No, I mean, look, they didn't have the strongest non-conference.
No, they didn't at all. But losing to Vandy, losing to Texas A&M.
Hofstra.
Hofstra, that was before. Hofstra was a real bad one. They have bad losses. This doesn't put them in the tournament right now for sure. But I do think this is a turnaround game where they go on a little run because it's pretty much they got South Carolina, Texas A&M, Ole Miss, West Virginia, which is like a pretty winnable schedule right there.
And then Georgia and Mississippi State.
Yeah, and then it's pretty much
their February is a gauntlet.
It's a gauntlet in February.
But if they can run the table in January, again, we're getting a little ahead of ourselves. They're 12-5. They're under 500 in the conference. The SEC, you can dig yourself out of a hole very quickly.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's why you can't count them out. I think they beat South Carolina. I think they beat Texas A&M. Ole Miss is going to be probably like a weird game for them, and I think they do beat West Virginia. Like I think they
have them at home.
Yeah,
and then Georgia is the new Vanderbilt in this conference. It seems like.
Yeah.
But yeah, the must bus, and I can only imagine what he was doing at his house, unable to travel with the team, recovering. What do you think his reaction was?
I mean, he probably re-tore his rotator cuff. He's probably going nuts. I mean, we should call him later.
Yeah, honestly, he's recovering right now. We got to have him back on the show, but crazy. I mean, Will Wade, obviously they've been tremendous, and I said this a few minutes ago. I still think they can win the SEC. This is their second loss.
This loss does nothing for me for LSU.
Yeah. LSU at Alabama Wednesday and at Tennessee on Saturday. So back-to-back road games after a tough home loss. They need to win one of these or else 3 losses in a row.
And let's also, I mean, Pinson wasn't playing this game. So it's like.
Right, but they won on the road at Florida without him.
No, I know, but you still got to mention they don't.
No, of course.
Pinson, which is like, but still, I mean, Arkansas played who they had to play and good win.
Absolutely. All right, let's move on. We've got a few more games and then our segments, love, hate, beating the buzzer. But before we do, we have a new sponsor. It's called Truebill. Do you know why free trials renew without your consent? It's a business scam out to get you. Don't let greedy corporations pocket your money. Download Truebill to take control of your subscriptions. Truebill is the new app that helps you identify and stop paying for your subscriptions you don't need, want, or simply forget about. On average, people save up to $720 a year with Truebill because companies make subscriptions hard to cancel. Truebill makes it incredibly simple. Just link your accounts and Truebill will cancel your unwanted subscriptions in one tap. And your Truebill concierge is there when you need them to cancel unwanted subscriptions so you don't have to. Truebill, an amazing concept. I mean, Marty, think about how many little subscriptions that add up you see in your bank account and you're like, I'm still paying for that.
That's crazy. I love this right now. It's great to even hear about it because I'm going to use it.
100%. You and over 2 million users have used Truebill and helped save them over $100 million. Like Matthew B., who says, in a matter of seconds, I saved $660 for the year on my DirecTV bill, saved $120 for the year on my SiriusXM bill, saved $840 a year on car insurance. So don't fall for subscription scams. Start canceling today at truebill.com/bench. Go right now, truebill.com/bench. It could save you thousands a year. Truebill.com/bench. What an idea. I love this.
I know they came to the right podcast because I'm a sucker for subscriptions. So I need to use Truebill.
Yeah, that's just the worst feeling. You look at your account and you're like, damn.
Oh, I still pay.
Like, why am I paying for that?
I've been playing for Planet Fitness for 5 years. I went once.
Those guys,
scumbags.
You have to cancel in person.
I know. I live 2 hours away from it now, so I'm never gonna go.
When I first moved to New York, I lived near Central Park, and then I went back to Vermont. I didn't cancel. I just canceled it on my birthday 4 months ago. I just was paying for 2 years.
Oh no, I've been paying for 5 years. I'm not gonna do it.
How do they get away with that?
It's one of the best scams going. It's crazy.
And how does no one step up and be like, you can't do this?
You know why? Because it's only $10, so you're like, oh, whatever. But then they get you on the yearly fee for like $100. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, Planet Fitness. I mean, I guess congrats to them, but yeah, use Truebill. Awesome idea. All right, we're backtracking a little bit. We're covering Thursday through Sunday, and I know we talked about Wisconsin with Big Cat, but we have to talk about them again. Marty, you've given in. They are a good team, according to you. I've been saying it. Wisconsin, number 13, Wisconsin, 78. Number 16, Ohio State, 68.
Yep. Fuck me. They're good. What am I going to say? I'd be an idiot and I would not be doing a shtick all day if I said this. And I wasn't a shtick the whole time. I really did think they were just okay. This was a home game. They got smoked by Ohio State before this, but I mean, this put my words in my mouth because Johnny Davis was 4 of 18, 1 of 5 from 3, and Wall, I don't know how to say it. If he steps up like that, if he's going to be that secondary scorer or takes over for Johnny Davis when he's not playing well, they're a legit team.
I sense an identity change for Wisconsin. I think in the majority of this season so far, I think we all agreed. And I think even Big Cat would agree. It was the Johnny Davis show. They go as he goes. But now, again, 14 points against Wisconsin. Other guys step up. Against Maryland, 19 points. Wall had 21. It was Johnny Davis or bust the majority. These last two games, not the case.
When the fuck did Brad Davidson be able to shoot threes?
Brad Davison has looked unbelievable.
I mean, he scored 25 that game. Brad Davidson was 4-6 from three. What the fuck? He's 45 years old.
This is dangerous for the Wisconsin haters, and we were part of that crew. So you're in on them, right? Or you still think they're bad?
A top 10 team, bro.
They're 100% a top 10 team now after what happened at the top of the rankings. But the thing that for me that Wisconsin fans should be excited for is not the wins, it's how they're winning, right? Because if Johnny Davis is not the amazing Johnny Davis we've seen, they're still winning games by double figures against the ranked team. That says a lot.
Yeah, and it's right. And they have favorable schedule too right now, where it's Northwestern at Northwestern, Michigan State at home, which Wisconsin is just a tough place to play at. It is. And then Nebraska on the road, and then Minnesota at home. Like those next four games is their toughest game on the road is Illinois. That's going to be a tough game for them.
Yeah, I mean, it's just crazy how wrong we were. Everyone was wrong. The Wisconsin had no expectations this season. We talked about it with Big Cat about like all like the off-court stuff. Maybe had people not really buy into them this season, but geez, Greg Gard, 14-1 in games with Johnny Davis this season. 7 quad one wins, the most in college basketball. Davison with 25 points, Wall with 20 plus the second straight game. They're a very good team.
Yep, that's all we have to say. I think we were wrong again.
Big Ten, second best team. They beat Purdue though, so how can we say they're behind them? I don't know.
I know. I don't know how you don't say they're kind of.
Maybe the best.
I mean, they're 1A, 1B, which is disgusting.
Yeah, but admitting you're wrong will extinguish the issues, and that's what we're doing here. We were wrong on Wisconsin.
Yep.
Ohio State, meanwhile, they've lost 2 of 3. They do have a favorable schedule. Penn State, IUPUI, add that to the list. We definitely have not said them. I don't know why they have a game with them in mid-January. And then Nebraska.
Yeah, it's nice when they need that.
Yeah, and then Minnesota too. So Ohio State should run the table the next 4 games. And then they get Purdue on January 30th. So look, Wisconsin is very much in contention for the top of the Big Ten, which is insane.
Yeah, it's crazy. Good for them though.
Yeah. All right, let's get to our love hate and then beating the buzzer to wrap up the show. Marty, what do you got?
You know what? You start.
Okay. I love Greg Campy, the head coach of Oakland. It is January 16th, the time of this recording, which is almost a month after Christmas. Do you know what he coached in yesterday?
What?
An ugly Christmas sweater.
Wow, I hate that.
It was with the wrapping too. I mean, why not? like, if you don't have to wear a suit, why not?
Yeah, no, I guess so. I really do guess so. That's crazy. I almost might use this as my hate. Ugly Christmas sweater after Christmas is outrageous.
Are you the Grinch?
No, I think it's just way past it. It's like people who still say Happy New Year now.
And what's your deadline for that?
It's over.
What was it though?
January 4th.
January 4th. Give it the weekend.
Yep.
Yeah. I had an Uber driver say it to me this weekend.
Yeah, I'm good. I don't need your Happy New Year's anymore.
January 15th. Yeah, that's a lot. I hate what the ACC is doing it to itself. They're beating each other up. They're diminishing their chances for at-large resumes. Pitt beat Louisville. FSU beat Syracuse. Wake beat Virginia. North Carolina, I think, is the second best team. And after that, I don't know if they're getting any other teams in the tournament.
They're going to get 3.
Where?
But,
maybe Wake?
Yeah, they're going to get 3. But you're so right, because yesterday I was like, what the fuck's going on? Like, Duke is by far light years ahead of everybody. I'm nervous about Duke because of that. Because
you don't think they'll be ready for the tournament?
I think they'll be ready because I do think their players are. I think they're just still so really good. But the ACC, like you said, they're beating each other up. It's disgusting.
Yeah, FSU puts Syracuse back to under 500. FSU has won 5 of 6. Pitt beats Louisville. Louisville, what are they doing? Like, I don't know. Like,
I don't get it, dude. I don't get it. Louisville is just
they're 10-7.
I know it's disgusting. And Virginia, and then Pitt winning yesterday. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Wake in Miami. Maybe you'll get that 3rd spot. I can't see them both getting in.
Yeah, I know. It's just this whole thing is out. It's just I don't like it, Jake. I don't like it.
It's not fun.
Is supposed to be the best conference by far
every year, right?
They're just not even close.
Yeah. All right, go ahead.
I'm just gonna say it. I love Chase Rice.
You hooked you up this weekend, huh?
Just a beautiful human being. I love him as a person. I don't even care about his music. I love him so much. I hate not knowing what's going on in college basketball. It's almost like a double love because this chaos is my favorite college basketball. You know what? I'm not doing hate. I'm doing double love.
Love it.
I'm
no
doing
pun intended.
double love. The chaos in college basketball is awesome because we know it's like when college football, right? Where we're like, oh, wow, who would have thought Alabama was going to make the championship? It's like this. We obviously the tournament's way different. It's a different sport, obviously, but it's just right now, you know what the fuck's going on. No one's a clear winner. You have like 10 to 15 teams that can win a championship right now.
And none of them would surprise you.
No,
and they wouldn't. And none of those 10 to 15 teams that lose they don't make the Sweet 16. You wouldn't be surprised either.
No, not at all. That's why it's the best.
Like if say UCLA is a 2 seed, they lose to a 7 seed in the second round, would that stun you?
Nope, but yep, saw that coming.
Yeah, if number 2 UCLA loses to number 7 UConn in the second round, okay.
Yep.
That's not crazy. Going. Like, is the gap between those two teams crazy?
No.
Yeah, and I know we talked about it last episode, but the redemption from 2020, right? Dayton, San Diego State, they were the top, and it was wide open.
True.
And we're getting our redemption because this year is going to be madness. So many ranked teams losing this season. All right, let's wrap up the show with beating the buzzer. However, we want to remind you guys that Bird Dogs is the place to be. Go to birddogs.com and use promo code BENCH. Marty, you've worn Bird Dogs before. No, your legs look fantastic in them.
Yeah, Bird Dogs are so comfortable, dude. I have shorts by them. I have a bunch of things by them. Bird Dogs is one of my favorite things to wear as well. I think you've done them too, right?
The joggers are amazing. Bird Dogs is very comfortable. I actually wore them yesterday, sitting on the couch watching football. This is one of the best podcast promos we've ever had. Go to birddogs.com, enter promo code BENCH, and they'll throw in free Bird Dogs whistle football. You remember those Nerf Vortex Howler footballs that whistle when you throw them?
They're giving us. You get one of those?
Code BENCH. They'll throw in a free Bird Dogs whistle football.
I want. This is. If you're listening to this podcast, I want to see this. I'm going to do it myself. I want you guys to send me your footballs when you get it from Bird Dogs because I want to see this right now.
Yeah. So that's birddogs.com, promo code BENCH, and boom, a free Bird Dogs football with your pair of Bird Dogs gear. You will not take these things off. I promise you. Marty promises you. Rico's probably wearing them right now watching hoops. I mean, what a deal. Usually we get 10% off here or there. How about a football? That's sick.
Yep, I love that. That's a great promo for fucking Bird Dogs.
Yeah. All right. It is time to wrap up the show, beating the buzzer. And Marty, before we get to this, what a crazy week. There's so many games to unpack. The chaos is a lot, but it's fun.
Yep. Let's go through them.
All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Thursday, Iowa 83, Indiana 74. It's not Keegan Murray, but Chris Murray, who was the MVP. 29 points, 11 rebounds. The Hawkeyes are 12-4.
I was way more impressive than I thought they were going to be.
Yeah, they lost the best player in college basketball. And the fact that they're hanging around in the Big Ten, hey, they can do some damage. Number 6, Arizona, 76. Colorado, 55. Get Kerr Carissa some new officials. Did you see him asking who invited these refs?
Yes, I did see that. That was awesome.
Yeah, he's got a great personality. Friday, number 25, Illinois, 68. Michigan, 53. This is a very sneaky 13-3, 6-0 start for the Illini. Kofi, 21-10. No Dickinson for Michigan. They're 500 on this season.
Yeah, I mean, that's just with no Dickinson, they might be an AAU team. Like, that's just brutal. That's brutal. But watch out for Illinois. They've been sneaky making a run back into like their for real team.
Yeah, for sure. By the way, we're recording this before the Iowa-Minnesota game. I was on the road. So all of these comments, warning, before the Minnesota game, just in case they lose. Cover our butts. Illinois, by the way, Illinois-Purdue. They're playing at noon today. Noon on Monday for Martin Luther King Day. That's fun.
I love that.
That's amazing. Day basketball during the week. We need more of that. I mentioned it last week. I know you and Big Cat would love that, to just have a day game to bet on every single day. The A10 had a wild Friday night. Davidson 87, Richmond 84. Michael Jones 8 of 9 from 3. Did you see the deep game winner?
Yes.
Davidson, a little bit sneaky. And then St. Bonaventure makes a statement. They beat VCU by 20. They're back in a little bit of a groove after nearly a month off. Do you still like them as the top?
No.
You think Davidson?
Yep. I really do.
Yeah, I know Big Cat likes VCU, but I don't know. The A10, not the best conference, not the worst. Davidson and St. Bonaventure, the only perfect teams. I guess technically George Mason, but they haven't played a conference game yet. They're dealing with the COVID pause. They have to be. They haven't played since New Year's Day. Saturday, number 9, Kansas, 85, West Virginia, 59. David McCormick steps up, season high 19 points. They look like the best team in the Big 12 right now, no?
Yeah, they definitely are. I mean, they I don't know. Yeah, I guess Texas Tech is still pretty good. I don't know.
They just lost to Kansas State.
I know, but that was such a lose after they beat fucking Kansas and Baylor.
Kansas 34-6 the past 4 years when David McCormick scores in double figures.
That's wild.
He scored 19 in this one, so they could use more of that. Number 17, Xavier, 80, Creighton, 73. The Musketeers, 6 guys in double figures, 21 turnovers for Creighton.
Yeah, fuck Creighton.
Xavier, though, 13-3. 2 losses to Villanova, 1 loss to Iowa State. Yeah, we had Nunji on. Go check that out on our YouTube page. And then, did you see the crazy half-court buzzer beater between Coppin State and Morgan State?
Absolutely not.
I appreciate the honesty. Go check out the Bench Mob YouTube. It was a deep half-court buzzer beater, so you got to throw those in there. I think Memphis is dead. ECU 72, Memphis 71. I don't want to say goodnight, but I want to say sleep tight.
No, yeah, almost they're in territory where I don't even think we mention them until they are disgusting.
Back-to-back losses. They lost to UCF, now ECU. They have losses.
Mentioned in the Final Four and all this stuff, and getting his coach and all this. Fuck you. You guys suck. I don't want to talk about you.
They have a good win against Alabama. Their losses: Georgia, Murray State, Ole Miss, Tulane, UCF, East Carolina.
Gross. Fuck them.
They are 9-7. They're 500 in the mediocre AAC. It's a shame because they had on paper the coaching staff with Rasheed Wallace, Larry Brown, and Penny Hardaway. The lottery picks with Jalen Duren and Imoni Bates. And there's the flop.
Yep. I'm not going to mention them anymore.
Yeah. BYU 71, San Francisco 69. I know you're not going to pitch into this WCC talk, but this was a very good game. Nice bounce back for BYU after getting smoked by Gonzaga. I still think San Francisco is a tournament team. They're 15-3. And then lastly, we'll end it in honor of Rico. Mississippi State 78. Number 24, Alabama 76. Alabama loses 3 straight for the first time since January 2020. They're not on the bubble yet. They're still a tournament team, but right now they're probably like a 7 or 8 seed, right?
Oh, it's close. It's like they're gonna make the tournament, but that's a bad loss. I don't care if it's on the road. You got to win that game. Have to.
It's crazy. They beat Gonzaga and Houston back to back a month ago.
I know. It's just they take some bad shots. It's the only thing I've been watching. But their guards are so good, but like they take some bad shots.
I don't know. I mean, we love Oates.
Rico, being suspended and watching that, it's like Jesus Christ.
Yeah. They have a home game at LSU, and then Missouri, Georgia, Baylor, Auburn is their schedule.
Gauntlet.
What are they? Gauntlet. And then Kentucky. They have Baylor, Auburn, Kentucky in the span of a week.
Yeah, they probably whoever did that should be fired.
That's the league. But
no, they could have changed it up a little bit, maybe. You know, that's just wrong.
I mean, so this LSU home game is kind of a must-win now.
Yeah, bro. They have a lot of must-wins.
LSU, then Mizzou, Georgia, but they already lost to Mizzou, so who knows? But Bama, I mean, we love Coach Oates. Hopefully they can get back on the right foot. That's crazy. I'm surprised. I'm surprised that they are playing the way they are. Hopefully they can turn it around. So yeah, that's all I got. Anything else on your end?
No. Duke, great cover. And Auburn's gonna be the number 1 team. They're legit.
I think they should be. Enjoy the day basketball today. Purdue, Illinois. What a great game. Illinois. Look out for them.
Yep. Kofi's a grown man.
Yes, he is. So we'll have Big Cat back on Thursday. Thanks to everybody who listened to last episode. We really appreciate it. I know we had some new listeners. And keep March 15th open on your calendar. The first ever Barstool Bench Bob 3-on-3 Invitational. It's going to be a lot of fun, right?
Yep, I can't wait. Definitely take off now. We'll drink after, watch the games. It'll be great.
Yeah. All right. So hopefully a guest Thursday as well. That is in the works. Big Cat will be back. So everyone have a great beginning to the week, and we'll talk to you on Thursday.